Can an iPhone really shoot cinematic videos? Come on. What if I told you it can? But it takes more than just pressing the record button. In this video, guys, I'll show you exactly how I did it and how you can use the same approach to level up your iPhone filmmaking skills. One of the best ways to make your iPhone footage stand out and get closer to that
cinematic look
is to use an anamorphic lens. An anamorphic lens widens the field of view horizontally, giving you that iconic letterbox look. It also reduces that digital look that most smartphones have, and it also adds those epic lens flares that you see in big Hollywood films. And using something like this is a big step towards achieving that cinematic aesthetic. Now, traditional anamorphic lenses are usually pretty expensive, but this one, the 1.33 anamorphic lens from Freewell, is a much more affordable way to get a similar look, and it's a great option if you're just starting out and want to dive into the world of anamorphic lenses. Now, Freewell has sent me their anamorphic lens to check out. This isn't a sponsored video, and I'm not obligated to make a video, but I had the chance to try it out and I was really impressed with the quality. So I just wanted to share my experience with you. Now, in order to attach the anamorphic lens, I'm using the case from Freewell, which has a 17mm thread. Now, what's really cool is that it has a built-in spirit level at the top, so you just rotate the lens until the bubble sits centered. That way your image is properly aligned. Now, I've used it to film a small music cover for my buddy Simon. I can't play the original track here due to the copyright issue, as the song is by Guns N' Roses, but I've linked Simon's Instagram below so you can check it out. Now, huge thanks to my cousin Dustin for helping with the behind the scenes, even though he should have been studying for his finals. Puñeta! Now, we had a lot of fun shooting this and I was honestly impressed with the final results. To get the most out of this lens, you'll need full manual control, which brings us to the Blackmagic Camera App. Now, once you have your anamorphic lens mounted and leveled, open up the Blackmagic Camera App and go to Settings, Camera, and select Anamorphic D-Squeeze 1.33. This corrects the stretched footage automatically. And by the way, the Blackmagic Camera App is free and gives pro-level controls you'd normally only find on higher-end camera. And this is where you'll want to understand the exposure triangle, which is our next step. Dial in our shutter speed, ISO, and aperture, which all three values control how bright or dark your video is. Now, on smartphones, aperture is usually fixed, so your main controls are shutter speed and ISO. Now, for the shoot I did, I recorded in 4K 25 frames per second with a shutter speed of 1/50. I lowered the ISO to the lowest number to avoid noise. I also locked the white balance and tint after letting them auto adjust. Now, no SSD was needed. I had enough space on my phone. I recorded in HEVC H.265 for smaller file size, and I shot in Apple Lock for a more natural look and also gives me more flexibility when color grading. One of the biggest difference when aiming for a cinematic video comes down to motion blur. And for that, a VND filter is a must-have. To get that natural looking motion blur, you want your shutter speed to be double your frame rate. For 25 frames per second, that's 1/50. But the thing is, using a slower shutter speed lets in more light, which can overexpose your footage. And that's where the VND filter comes in. I'm using the VND filter from Bscript, which threads directly onto the anamorphic lens. And by rotating the filter, you can see that I can adjust the amount of light hitting the sensor. By doing this, I can maintain a proper exposure and achieve a natural motion blur. Now, to monitor the exposure, I use zebras. I typically set it to 80% inside the Blackmagic Camera App, which is super useful for spotting overexposed areas. Now, when it comes to stabilization, for the best results, you want to turn off stabilization inside the Blackmagic Camera App and use a mobile gimbal like the Home iSteady M7 instead. This will give you smoother results. Now, unfortunately, I didn't have time to charge it, so I went handheld. Now, to compensate, I enabled extreme stabilization inside the Blackmagic Camera App, which worked surprisingly well. Another tool I had with me is this Vlogpod from Freewell. This also helped me keep my shots steadier. And to improve handheld shots, I walked heel to toe and kept my phone close to my body. And this really helped reduce the shakes and create a more natural movement in my videos. Because with anamorphic lens, if you're not careful, you will get that wobbly effect in your video, which looks awful. Plus, I personally enjoy shooting handheld. I'm able to move faster, frame different angles quickly, and mix in subtle handheld motion to add an organic feel. So let's talk about natural light. It's free, and when used right, it can completely change the feel of your video. And for this shoot, I positioned Simon with the sun behind him, creating a backlight shot, which created more contrast. And this gave the image more depth and made it feel less flat. Also, when filming towards the sun with the anamorphic lens, it created these beautiful flares, which made the shot even more interesting. Now, what makes this tripod stand out is its versatile legs. As you can see, I can bend it however I want, so you can wrap it around just about anything. And for that one shot, we wrapped it around Simon's guitar to get a unique POV perspective, and it looked awesome. It added a creative angle that really made the visual more dynamic. Now, the Vlogpod is not only great for creative shots like that, but it also is a solid option for vlogging. And paired it with the anamorphic lens and the Rode wireless micro, it can really help elevate your content and give your vlogs a unique look. If you plan on vlogging with the anamorphic lens, you will have to use the rear camera, and it's pretty difficult to see what you're shooting. So what helps me is using this phone vlog monitor by Shimbal. You can connect it to your iPhone and get a real-time preview of what you're shooting. This way I can frame myself more easily, either in the center or maybe position myself over here. And this saves you a lot of time not having to reshoot everything if you're not happy with the composition. This way you can get it right from the start. Now, I highly recommend this if you do a lot of self-filming or vlogging. I'll be sure to link it in the video description below. So I've now wrapped it around this pole. So this is also a cool perspective that you can create. Now, let me know what you guys think about this setup. Would you vlog with the anamorphic lens, or do you think it's overkill? Let me know in the comment section below. So welcome to my nest. This is where I edit all of my videos. Now, one crucial step that will drastically improve the overall look of your iPhone footage is color grading. And that's what I will be showing you in this section. This is where we bring our image to life by adding contrast, balancing the tones to create a consistent cinematic look. Now, I know I said cinematic so many times, it is overused,
but I don't care.
Now, this won't be a deep dive into color grading. I just want to show you the color effects I've applied to create that look, and hopefully you can use these techniques for your own. So we're now inside Final Cut Pro, and this is the clip we will be grading today. So this is the before and after. Pretty awesome, right? So I've disabled all of the effects. Let me walk you through step by step on what effects I've applied to achieve this look. So the first thing I did is convert the Apple log footage to Rec 709, and for that I used a plugin called Cine Match. So when I enable it, you'll see that we have a properly converted image. And when we open up the controls, you can see that I can choose the camera, I can choose the model, which is iPhone 16 Pro, and the profile I shot it in, which is Apple log. And then down here, I have a toggle that will allow me to transform it to Rec 709. And this also works with any other camera. That's what I like about Cinematch. It really makes it easy to convert any log footage into Rec 709. And another bonus is that you can match different cameras. So for example, I could match my iPhone with my Sony a7S III. So if you're recording with a lot of different cameras, this makes it easier to match the look of different cameras. Now, I'm not sponsored by them. I just really think this saves you a lot of time not having to look for those individual conversion LUTs. Now this actually looks really good already, but I wanted to go for a unique look. So the next thing I did is I've adjusted the exposure. So let's head over to the color wheel. Once we enable it, you can see that I've lifted the midtones and brought down the shadows a bit. Now keep in mind that I constantly keep tweaking things to match it with the other color effects that I've applied. The next thing I did is I've adjusted the white balance. I actually made this warmer. I found it too cool. So when we head over to the color wheel, you can see that in the highlights, I dragged it more towards orange, and in the midtones, a bit towards yellow green. Now, I don't want to confuse you. The white balance on this clip is correct, and I actually started creating the look in this section. All right, next up is saturation. Added a bit of saturation by increasing the global saturation over here. So next, I've applied an orange and teal look. So when I enable it, let's head over to the hue versus saturation. You can see that I've pulled the blues more towards teal, the orange more towards red, and I've also reduced the saturation. So when we look at the before and after, I feel this is more balanced. The next thing I did is I've lifted the shadows. So when I enable it, you can see that it looks a bit more washed out. When we head over to the color curve, you can see over here, I've lifted this point, which lifts the shadow. As for the last step, I've applied a creative LUT. So when I enable that, you can see it creates our final look. And these are actually from my premium mobile LUTs, and that is the blockbuster look. But I also have other LUTs available, such as, let's go for Summer Dream, for example, or we can go for Hearthstone. So you can see there are a lot of different looks that you can apply, and these are specifically made for mobile clips. So if you guys are interested, I will leave a link in the video description below. So I will go for the blockbuster look, and I've also dialed back the intensity to around 50%. Otherwise, 100% would be way too strong. So next up, I've applied a halation, which you can see over here adds a soft glowing halo that appears around bright areas. And this also helps create that vintage look. Now, this is a plugin by Film Convert. They actually all belong together, Cinematch, Film Convert, and I think you can also buy a bundle. I'm not sure. I'll also be sure to link it below. The next thing I've added is haze. So as I enable it, you can see that it softens the highlight, and this also makes the clip look more dreamy. As for the last step, I've added the M Film Look, which is a plugin by Motion VFX. I use it a lot for grading my iPhone clips. So when I enable it, you can see it is a subtle change, but it does make a huge difference. So the first thing I've applied is aberration to the corners. After that, I've applied a lens blur, which blurs out the corners. And then I've applied film grain, which helps blend in all of the colors. And lastly, I've added a vignette to draw the viewer's attention more towards the center. So there you have it, guys. That is how I color graded that clip. I hope you found it helpful. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. So that is how I was able to shoot a cinematic video on an iPhone using just a few key tools. But there's a lot more that goes into getting cinematic results and professional quality video with an iPhone. If you want to dive deeper, I've got a full smartphone filmmaking course where I break everything down step by step, and a one-on-one coaching program for creators who want personalized guidance. You'll find both links in the video description below. And if you're looking for some quick wins, here is another great video for you with simple additional tips that will help you level up your videos. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Take care and see you in the next one.